Huge Pile replaces free ink for life plan with 99 cents a month or your printer stops working. So you have to have a subscription to your printer now. No joke. That you already paid for. In a new essay at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, Cory Doctorow revisits Huge Pile's anti-consumer security updates that disabled third-party ink cartridges while missing real vulnerabilities that could actually bypass network firewalls. Doctorow writes that it is just the beginning. Huge Pile's latest gambit challenges the basis of private property itself. A bold scheme. Well, video games have been able to get away with this shit for years, so it makes sense that the other industries are catching on. With a Huge Pile instant ink program, printer owners no longer own their ink cartridges or the ink in them. Instead, Huge Pile's customers have to pay a recurring monthly fee based on the number of pages they anticipate printing from month to month. Huge Pile mails subscribers cartridges with enough ink to cover their anticipated needs. If you exceed your estimated page count, Huge Pile bills you for every page. If you choose not to pay, your printer refuses to print, even if there's ink in the cartridge. If you don't print all your pages, you can roll over a few of those pages to next month, but you can't bank on a year's worth of pages to, say, print out your novel or tax papers. Once you hit your maximum number of banked pages, Huge Pile annihilates any others you've paid for, but continues to bill you every month. Sounds like video games, doesn't it? Now, you may be thinking, all right, but at least Huge Pile's customers know what they're getting into when they take out one of these subscriptions. But you've underestimated Huge Pile's ingenuity. Huge Pile takes the position that its offers can be retracted at any time. For example, Huge Pile's free ink for life subscription plan offered printer owners 15 pages per month as a means of tempting users to try out its ink subscription plan and of picking up some extra revenue in those months where customers exceeded their 15-page limit. But free ink for life customers got a nasty shock at the end of last month. Huge Pile had unilaterally canceled their free ink for life plan and replaced it with a 99 cents a month for all eternity or your printer stops working plan. And all I have to say is this is what you get when you subscribe to a live service. Whether it's just in video games or it's in the physical realm, like with cars and now printers. If you subscribe to a live service, you have to know that this is how it's going to be. Like Toxic said, going back to the Great Reset, you will own nothing and you will be happier for it. That's what they're pushing you towards. You own nothing. For would-be robber barons, quote-unquote smart gadgets are a moral hazard, an irresistible temptation to use those smarts to reconfigure the very nature of private property, such that only companies can truly own things. And again, we could thank video games for this, or rather, we can thank your average video game consumer for this. They are the ones that have shown that, oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine not owning anything and paying a subscription to use it. Yep. Oh, I'm perfectly fine on top of that paying an extra like $70 for some rare DLC package. I'm fine with gambling on loot boxes. That's okay. And the rest of us are mere licensors whose use of the devices we purchased is bound by the ever-shifting terms and conditions set in distant boardrooms. That's why I don't do live services, by the way. The fact that they can change the plan on you at any time. And it's the same thing with exclusivity deals. Remember how Marvelous pretty much tanked their company by getting into an exclusivity deal for Senran Kagura 7 with Sony, and then Sony decided, oh, by the way, you need to censor literally everything that actually makes your game appealing. You never sign a contract like that unless it comes with exit provisions. There needs to be some provision in that contract that says, I will only be held to the standards that are in place at the signing of this contract. And better yet, spell them out in the contract itself so they can't change it after the fact and pretend that they never did. And it's the same thing here with live services. If your live service contract comes with a clause that says the company can change anything at any time for any reason and fuck you, that you can't do anything about it, which is basically every single live service end user license agreement, by the way. You have no rights. You own nothing. The company can do whatever the fuck they want at any time. You're just paying for the privilege to play in their playground, basically. You kind of get what's coming to you. So from Apple to John Deere to GM to Tesla to Medtronic, the legal fiction that you don't own anything is used to force you to arrange your affairs to benefit corporate shareholders at your own expense. Which is one of the main reasons I like Deep Rock Galactic so much. You pay for the game once, and other than a few cosmetic DLC packages, that's it. And they just released a free update a few weeks back that added 2 new mission types. Oh my God, like a whole shitload of quality of life improvements. This shit would have been like $30 paid DLC if this game was AAA. And when it comes to razors and blades business models, embedded systems offer techno-dystopian possibilities that no shaving company ever dreamed of. The ability to use the law and technology to prevent competitors from offering their own consumables. From coffee pods to juice packets, from kitty litter to light bulbs. The printer ink cartridge business model has inspired many imitators. Yeah, I remember that. Remember when Keurig got into a bunch of hot shit when they started putting like chips into their cups that made it so you couldn't use third-party cups in the newer machines? And like the writer here points out, this is what these fucking printer companies have been doing for a while. They pushed out updates that make it so third-party printer cartridges won't work. You have to pay like triple the price for the first-party ones because, of course, you do. Don't let yourself be suckered into one of these systems. As soon as you see a company doing shit like this, abandon them. Let them go broke, or you get what you fucking deserve. So Huge Pile has come a long way since the 1930s, reinventing itself several times, pioneering personal computers and servers. But the company's latest reinvention as a wallet-siphoning ink grifter is a sad turn indeed. The only thing worse than Huge Pile's decline is the many imitators it has inspired. Although if you are an entrepreneur, this is your chance. You can see the dinosaur legacy industries destroying themselves. You have a chance now to jump in and fix this shit. You can make your own while you still have the chance. Because they are one step away from total control of the market. The only thing they have left to do is tug the leashes of their pet politicians and do some bribery and get regulations passed that make it impossible for competitors to form. That's why I'm against most regulations, at least the way they're implemented right now. The giant corporations who currently monopolize the market, they always seem to support very expensive regulations that'll end up costing them tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Why do they support these regulations? Is it because they just care so much? Fuck no. They support these regulations because they can afford to pay them, and meanwhile, they know their startup competitors can't. They would rather pay the cost of the regulation than the much bigger cost of being replaced by a much better competitor. They stop competition from even happening in the first place using these bullshit regulations. So be very careful. If you see companies making moves like this, they are just one step away from going to the government and having the government basically regulate their competition out of existence. When you see this happening, you need to make sure these companies go bankrupt, or else it's going to take a long time to recover from the damage they cause.
Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.